It's only a matter of time now before I become a human robot cyborg. Hannah, I'm sorry to tell you this, but I'm becoming evil.
Oh my god.
Hello, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. It's time to talk about our lives.
Nope. That was a very fitting intro because today we're talking about Shane's new Jaco arm.
Yes, it's finally here.
After months and months of fighting with insurance, being denied by insurance, and then finally approved, the Jaco arm is, okay, here.
Our videos are about to get a lot more annoying. Ow, hit my own head. Because I'm just gonna be hit my own head.
Oh, okay. It's like Shane's personality, as you know, is it can be a little irritating, a little immature, right?
Not conducive.
Now his personality is able to move things around. I
am not the person that should have a robot arm at my disposal.
There are definitely benefits to the arm, but we've had a couple of little mini arguments, like stop hitting me.
Stop trying to put your drink in my mouth.
Yep.
Stop pinching me. Stop rubbing my legs.
Stop grabbing my butt. The robot has already grabbed my butt.
I like that way of saying it. The robot has grabbed my butt.
Shane, but it takes away all the blame on you.
I don't want to cause alarm, but I do worry that it will gain sentience. If that happens, we'll just deal with it. No, anyway, really excited to have the Jaco. It's already in the 3 days that I've had it allowed me to do so much more that previously I required help with Hannah from.
Yeah.
From Hannah with.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say
with that. Hannah from?
With Hannah from.
I just went with it, yeah.
So today we are going to talk about the installation process, some of the stuff I've been doing, and the way that we are going to try to help other people get Jaco arms.
Yeah.
First, we have to thank our sponsor. It's a very special ad because my robot arm played a big role in the process. We would like to thank Skillshare for sponsoring this video, and I would like everyone to know that I am now filming using my robotic arm to hold the camera. It's only a matter get out of here. It's only a matter of time until my cinematography skills are known by all across the land. What are you doing?
What the heck?
What are you doing to that plant?
That is so mean. I'm simulating wind.
Uh-huh.
I don't know, it's very still in here. They're used to being outside, so I'm moving them around.
You're really enjoying your plant room, huh?
I'm trying to be a good plant parent, Shane.
Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of online classes for creative and curious people. You can explore new skills, develop existing interests, and get lost in creativity. Someone in this household has been using Skillshare lately. Hannah, what class have you been watching?
I really don't think that we need to do this new method. Shane's really enjoying controlling the camera. But yes, I have been taking Plants at Home, Uplift Your Spirit and Your Space, and it's taught by Christopher Griffin. I love it. You can see that we have a lot of plants inside, and it's been very helpful as I cultivate my green thumb.
And Hannah, have they actually advised you to rub the plants to simulate wind?
Yeah, I think a couple of times. I think that's one of the main points, or maybe I have come
it's
up.
Not in the course.
I think it's definitely in the course at some point. I'm just not sure, Now that I think about it, it might be my method, but either way, I think it's extremely legitimate.
Don't listen to him. That's why you're not the one teaching the course. If you're like me, and you're unsure about what's next, creativity and productivity classes can be a really great way to help you organize and structure your life and set up goals for the future.
At a time when so many important conversations are happening in our world, your voice is more important than ever. You can explore classes to unlock your creativity for social good. I can't help but feel like you're trying to cut me out of this video.
I've got the camera now. Skillshare offers membership with meaning. You can connect with fellow creatives, and you're entering a community of encouragement, communication, and inspiration. So, no matter what your interests are, maybe they're robotic handling of a camera, Skillshare will keep you learning.
The first 1,000 people to click the link in our description below will get a free trial of Skillshare Premium membership. After that, it's only around $10 a month.
All right, thank you, everyone.
Bye. All right, so first let's talk about the installation process. It was really nice because they came here to do it at our house.
Yeah.
We didn't have to go anywhere, which we appreciated, and it took, it was about 10 a.m. to 3 p.m.
There were 2 people doing the installation, and the installation consisted of basically figuring out how to attach it to my chair, and then the programming to make it work with my joystick and my ability to move my hand.
Probably the thing that took the longest on that whole day was figuring out how to get Shane out of his chair and how to mount the Jayco arm in a way that we could still do that.
Yeah, they put it on and suddenly I was like,
Trapped.
I'm trapped in my chair. Okay, so here was the basic issue. We added this giant contraption over here. Hannah, do you want to demonstrate how you normally transfer me?
I would try to come in here, and then I pull you out this way. So
Yeah.
this is completely in the way.
Aw.
Aw.
Anyway, so we spent lots of time trying to figure out how to program the arm to fold down out of the way.
Mhm.
But this front joint, can you this part can't really move. So that was always going to be in the way.
So we had known about this problem before we began installing the arm. We knew about it months ago. And we have been trying to figure out if we could put it on the right, and that was why we were we need a new joystick because the joystick's on the right. It was a whole problem. And they were like, hold on, we have this other thing, and it's down here that's a third, or I guess, there's a bunch of joints, but it's a whole nother joint, and it can fold the whole arm down lower.
Yes.
So if you just lower the arm way down, you can lift Shane out. And that is when we were trying to fold it under, but this still, no matter how low we put the bottom thing, that they were really kind to give us, it still wouldn't fit. Then we realized that this part that they gave us folds out.
It has a literal, watch, ready?
Okay? You pull a tiny little button, just pull it back.
This
and
is
then
after hours of programming.
all of a
Look
sudden,
at that.
the whole door
Just
just swings
slides
away.
right open, giving her perfect access to my tiny, tiny body.
Yep, and so, they had known that, but they didn't know if we, if that was enough for us, if we would have room in our bedroom for that, and we were like, this is perfect,
Yeah.
we have room, we will make this work, this is amazing.
So that was a big win. Moment.
Yeah, and we're very grateful that they gave us this bottom part, because otherwise...
Yeah, thank you to Nova for providing that bottom part. We appreciate that.
Yes.
I now have a variety of switches that do a variety of different things.
There's 1, 2, and then a third one on the back there.
It's gonna take me months to figure these all out.
Overall, the process was really smooth, and within a few hours, Shane was going around practicing with the arm.
Picking stuff up,
Yep.
putting stuff down, putting stuff on top of Hannah.
Yep. Feeding Chloe.
Wait.
Oh, wait.
Wait. Wait. Wait.
We got a lot of questions of people asking if Chloe was scared of the arm.
At first, yeah.
She wasn't really, she laid with us during the installation.
That's true. She wasn't terrified.
No.
But when I moved towards her,
Yeah.
the first time she stepped back.
She was And then Shane fed her a treat with the arm, and it became her new best friend. And now every time he picks anything up, she runs over to see if it's for her. She's gonna have to calm down a little bit about it.
The very first activity that I did once the engineers had left, when I was alone with my robotic arm, was I lifted a beer glass, which you saw in our previous video, lifted a beer glass to my mouth and took a wonderful sip. And then, this part was almost more exciting. I knew that there was more beer in my can, so I went into the kitchen And without telling anyone or, asking Hannah to help, I poured the rest of the beer into the cup. And I know that sounds probably like not a big deal, but I've never poured a drink into a cup before in my life.
And then you recycled the can.
And then, because I'm a good person.
Oh my God. Last night after dinner, Shane had a lot of joy, taking all the stuff from our table and putting it either in the sink or in the garbage.
I refused to let Hannah get up from the table. She was like, I can help. I was like, no.
He's like, I'm putting this away, putting it in the fridge. We put a rag tied around our fridge door, which was one of the technician's ideas. So thank you to Larby for that.
Yeah, thank you, Larby.
Yeah, now Shane can open the fridge really easily and put stuff in there, take stuff out.
Yeah. Peruse what food we have.
Yeah, just open it for fun.
And again, I know cleaning up the kitchen is not glamorous or wildly exciting. Most people hate doing that, but I've never been able to do that, and so it felt really good to be able to be like, Hannah, you stay on your phone, peruse Instagram. I will put the dishes away. That was the whole thing.
Yeah. We still have one more big barrier to this arm.
Being the perfect arm.
Yeah, being the perfect, getting to its full potential. Because right now, Shane can't get his own hand up onto his joystick here.
See here, yeah. I need Hannah's help with that.
Yeah, so he can't access the Jaco arm unless someone gives it to him first, essentially, which sort of defeats the purpose, in day-to-day life. When I'm here and I can help him get set up, it's fine, but it still doesn't let him escape the house in a fire because he needs a joystick that he can just, go. And then when he's at his computer and the joystick is folded out of the way, he extra can't access it because he'd have to push the computer out of the way, which he can't do without the Jaco arm, but he can't get his controller and therefore the Jaco arm with the computer in the way. It's just a loop.
Yeah, so we are working with a company right now in pursuit of a new joystick. It's a brand new style for me, much, much smaller. It's going to be a big difference, but it will allow me to access everything that I need all in one space without help. Yeah. Which would be lovely.
And it's going to be a much smaller joystick, so it's easier to move, which again is going to be a huge learning curve for Shane because he's never used that. But he gets tired using this one because he has to push it 2 inches for it to move. So.
Yeah. After all, it's not the size of the joystick that matters.
So last thing we want to talk about is that during this whole experience, we learned, and all of you learned, how hard these arms are to get.
Yeah.
We spent, months fighting with insurance, submitting appeals, working with Shane's doctors. I wrote a letter, Shane wrote a letter, his doctors wrote a letter. And so we want to make sure that people who are applying out there have all the resources that we had.
Yeah.
If you are applying for one of these arms, please feel free to reach out to us. You can email us. We would be happy to share the letters that we wrote that worked. We know that our social platform most likely played a role in Shane's approval. I think the fear by the insurance company that we were going to continue talking about how they denied Shane and, the wrath of everybody watching the videos probably motivated them to approve his arm. And
That's not fair.
I know, it's not fair. And his arm was the first one improved by that insurance company in the entire state of Minnesota. We don't know about outside of Minnesota. All we know is that his was the first in this state. So.
And you shouldn't have to have hundreds of thousands of followers on YouTube to instill fear in your insurance to get them to approve something. So this is all to say, Hannah and I want to use our platform to help others get these arms. They're really helpful, and they should just be seen as necessary as a wheelchair for people that don't have upper body strength.
So again, feel free to reach out to us if you're going through this process. We have letters and templates we can share and advice. So
hopefully we can help. All right, so over the next few weeks, I'm going to continue learning how to use my arm, figuring out what things in my day I can do differently to be more independent with my arm. I think I'm going to try to cut my own hair. My hair is getting a bit out of hand.
He had that idea last night completely genuinely. He was like, can I cut my own hair?
I'm going to try to.
I really...
And that will be a video, I promise. We'll make that a video. All right, everyone. That's the story of the robot arm.
Yep.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.